Welcome back to another edition of the Pre-Snap Podcast, brought to you by the wonderful people at LineStar Sports. Make sure you check them out on Twitter at LineStar App and at LineStar NFL. And most importantly, download the app in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Everything you need in the palm of your hands to build your winning DFS lineups. If you guys can give a rate and review on iTunes, we'd appreciate it as well. Or check us out on the LineStar YouTube channel, whichever you prefer. I recommend the YouTube once in a while because, two pretty faces that goof off a lot. So you never know what's going to happen. You can check me out on Twitter at BDentric, and my co-host, That's Right, is on Twitter at Bogman Sports. Scott Bogman, how we doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. Looking forward to this DFS lineup here. Not so great last week, but in my lineups that I played, I think our advice is okay. But lineups I played, I got real confident, went well over my normal level, and nope, nothing. So, but week 9 was, we've said it before already. We'll quit harping on it. You roll it up into a ball, you toss it in the trash, and you act like it never happened. So let's roll into week 10 with a smile on our face.
Let's do it. Smiles. If you're watching on the YouTube channel, you can see them. Atlanta at Dallas kicks things off for the week. Dallas 10-point home favorites. Over under of 54.5. Bogman, we're going back to the Cowboys on this one.
How about them Cowboys? We're going right back.
How about them?
Dak at 69.81 is a decent price anytime you want to play Zeke. And look, I know Zeke's a little banged up. If for whatever reason he were to not play, Tony Pollard would be a great option at 46 and 65, and might be okay anyway at 46 and 65. Just if they try to limit Zeke a little bit. The wide receivers for Dallas are a little screwy. I think I'll go with Cooper because he's just cheaper than CeeDee Lamb at 62 and 73. Russell Gage at 5,000 and 6,000 is a really good price for how many targets he had last week. Zacchaeus did have 2 scores, but Tajay Sharp was actually on the field more than him. So if I'm picking between those two, which I don't necessarily want to, but I would go with Sharp. You can play Kyle Pitts, you can play Dalton Schultz if you want here. But I think I'm more into Dak, Matt Ryan, Cordell Patterson at 66 and 78 is a decent price as well, and Amari Cooper.
Yeah, it's an interesting game. I think a lot of points get scored. I like the over in this game. I like the Falcons to keep it close, as we talked about on the Picks and Bets show. And for that reason, I think Matt Ryan at 6K on DK, 73 on FanDuel does have a little bit of appeal to it. I'll be totally honest. I don't mind Dak, but if you want to play the contrarian angle that Atlanta has to throw a lot to keep in it, I can totally see it. And in that case, I love Cordell Patterson at 66 and 78. I think he's a phenomenal cash game play and a piece of your tournament stacks. I think he goes off again. He's just a target touch machine. He had 6 targets last week, and he gets all those touches on the ground. He's good for 10 to 15 touches a game easily, which is just phenomenal price points to look at. So I'm big there. Gage did have the big week with 8 targets. The week before was Zacchaeus. Tajay Sharp's been out there. It's tough to kind of gauge how that's all going to get going, but it's interesting. And I said it to you, I don't know, it was on air, a different show, what we were talking about, but it feels like Kyle Pitts is coming on quick. So he's got to have a game. Since Ridley went down, his air yards are through the roof. His average, his ADOT has been crazy. So the big game is going to come soon, and the Cowboys defense is bad. So if you want to buy into it, you can. There's a lot of cheap tight ends out there, so it's tough to pay up for them, but it's a good spot. On the Cowboys side, I like the Pollard call. Keep an eye on the Zeke news. But I go Cooper as well, 62 and 73. Then Michael Gallup should be back this week, so keep an eye on that news as well. Josh Allen and the struggling Buffalo Bills head in to New York to take on the Jets. The Bills are minus 13-point favorites, over under 47.5. Bogman.
Don't really care for this game overall. I would love to say Zach Moss, but he's in concussion protocol. So if he doesn't play, Devin Singletary at 47,600 is a good price. I think Michael Carter is just a little bit priced up, 56 and 61. That could be okay. But I'm more interested in one of Sanders or Beasley. I think I'd go with Beasley just because he's cheaper at 52 and 61. Elijah Moore with Mike White has been money. So 47 and 57 is a good price. That might be my favorite play, actually, of this game. And potentially maybe the Bills defense if you think they're going to get better. But they're a little pricey against the Jets because, the Jets are known to struggle here.
Yeah, I know we both like the Jets to cover this game, but at the same time, I don't feel like playing a lot of pieces of this game either. If you want some cheap PPR action, the Beasley talk's not bad. Elijah Moore's interesting. I think he's going to be super popular after that last performance, so that becomes an issue. So as a whole, I'm going to keep it simple. Just going to pass on this game. Just going to pass.
Okay, that's pretty simple.
Carolina at Arizona. Arizona minus 10.5. Over under of 44. Likely no Kyler this week, which probably leads to no Hopkins as well.
And really neat leads to no receivers for the Cardinals, and maybe James Conner though. 63 and 7,000. Obviously, we're not going to have Chase Edmonds with this high ankle sprain. Got hurt on the first snap last week. I like Benjamin, but I don't trust him that much at 44 and 52. I'm not playing McCaffrey at his price. If you wanted to go with Kirk at 55 and 67, I think that's a decent price. But I just don't know how much I trust this Cardinals offense 2 weeks in a row without Kyler. So I think Connor is your main play here. I don't think I want anything to do with this Panthers team at all. Cardinals defense, not a bad play at 37 and 48.
Last week, Kirk had 6 targets. Moore had 5 targets. Connor had 5 targets. Ertz had 5 targets. But Moore had 2 red zone targets, which is very, very intriguing for the DFS value of the world. So I think 44 on DK and 54 on FanDuel. Moore
They'll
brings
design some runs for him too with Edmonds down. So
I think that's an intriguing play that might kind of get overlooked in this game. Like if you want to go with a really weird Colt McCoy stack, you can. I don't recommend it, but you can. But I think Rondell Moore as a discount could be nice. James Conner is going to be very popular. Carolina's defense ain't a joke, but I get it. As a whole, though, I love that Arizona defense. It stinks that they're 37 on DK, 48 on FanDuel, but I think they're worth every penny, as I have no faith at all in this Carolina offense with PJ Tucker and company. So give me some of that, but Rondell Moore is not a bad value as well. Cleveland at New England. New England minus 1.5 point favorites in this one with a total of 45, Bogman.
Pass. I think just pretty much overall for this game, I don't like it. I don't like banged up Baker Mayfield. I don't like rookie Mac Jones going up against Myles Garrett. I don't like Nick Chubb coming off the COVID list. Look, if Nick Chubb doesn't play, Dearness Johnson at 47 and 54 is a decent price. Harris and Stevenson, as we are recording this, are in concussion protocol. So maybe Brandon Bolden is a decent price at 44 and 51, but I still think that's just okay for him. Don't want anything to do with Jarvis Landry. DPJ at 48 and 56, I think is appropriate. So it's not even a great deal. So I think your one play is probably Dearness if there's no Nick Chubb. And Nick Chubb is also okay at any point if you want to play him. I think I'm with you on, as far as this game goes, just a straight pass.
Yeah, if Chubb's out, Dearness is great value. If Chubb's in, no problem using Chubb. Other than that, not a whole lot of appeal for me as well in this game. And I will just move on to Detroit at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh minus 8, over under 42.5. Bogman, Detroit coming off a bye. Does that intrigue you at all?
I mean, there could be some pieces. Najee is the big one. If you want to pay up for him at 79 and 94 in this game, I'm all about it. I think Swift could be a decent price here too at 68 and 73. It could be a potential buy. No, Chase Claypool. Okay, maybe Deontay at 68 and 74. I'll just tell everybody right now, I want no part of Ray McLeod. I want no part of anybody else outside of it's Deontay, Najee, Pat Freiermuth at 3,900, I think is a good price. And if you want to throw a dart at a pass catcher for Detroit, St. Brown at 38, Raymond at 49, I guess that's okay. But I think the Steelers defense might be the best play here at $4,100. So
on a weird slate where we're going to be targeting some higher total games, I think a Big Ben, Najee, Deontay Johnson stack is very much in play. Because no Claypool, Deontay got a ton of targets. Najee will do his thing. Ben's got to throw it to somebody. And then Pat Freiermuth could be your fourth guy if you want to. Otherwise, I don't mind sprinkling those pieces in lineups. I think there's a lot to like there. DeAndre Swift is always a tournament play for me just for the pass volume he gets. Not a must play at all, but he'd be a guy I'd be looking to as well. Jacksonville at Indianapolis. Now, this is a game that I'll be putting some thoughts behind. Indianapolis minus 10.5, over under 47.5.
Carson Wentz, probably my favorite quarterback play of the week, 5,900, 7,500 going against Jacksonville. I know Jacksonville did a great job last week. I do not care. I think the Colts are going to roll over the Jaguars. So give me Carson Wentz at that price. You want to play JT at 81 and 94 coming off his game. Great. I think Nyheim Hines is a great play at 5,000, 5,600. We saw him just burn the Jets defense last week. He's the fastest guy on the field when he touches the ball. So I could see him easily breaking one off against the Jets. Pittman is in play at 63 and 72. I love James Robinson. I don't want him with the heel injury, though, and I don't want any part of old ass Carlos Hyde. Not doing it. Jamal Agnew at 45 and 53 is probably my favorite Jacksonville play in this game outside of Dan Arnold at 35 and 51. Would you rather go Dan Arnold at 35 or Pat Freiermuth at 39?
Probably Dan Arnold.
Okay.
Because I think they have to throw a lot.
I think I'm going to slightly take Freiermuth just because how much Ben is starting to love him in the red zone. But
very close.
Yeah, they're very close. And if you want the extra discount, I do not mind at all. So, but I think Arnold, Agnew are probably the plays for Jacksonville, and you can play pretty much, any Colt you want.
Yeah, last week Arnold led the Jags in targets with 7 over Agnew's 5 and Marvin Jones 5. So something to think about as well. But I'm with you. If you're going to bring any Jags in this game, it's Arnold and Agnew. That's where I'm pretty much looking. But I love me some JT, love me some Carson Wentz. Then if you want to go with Pittman or keep an eye on the health of T.Y. Hilton, those are very, very, very much in play for me. My potentially favorite game of the week here, Minnesota at the Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers are -3 in this game, and the total is 52.5 bucks.
Love this one. This is your stackable game. Cousins, 61-76. Fine. If you want to pay up for Herbert, I'm okay with that. Eckler, 76 and 86. Dalvin Cook at 8,000, 8,500. Do not care. Love the price on him. Alexander Madison, if for whatever reason they decide to not play Cook because of his off-field stuff, 45 and 61. Better play. Might also be in play even if Cook plays. Justin Jefferson, all right, that's fine. Adam Thielen, I think I'd rather take Adam Thielen and hope he gets in the end zone at 67 and 7,000. I'm good with Keenan Allen. I would much rather play Keenan Allen than Mike Williams the way it's been going recently between those two. I think Conklin's a good price at 34. Parham at 2,600 has gotten in the end zone a bunch this year. So there's a lot to love here, Bob.
Yep, big Cousins to Cook to Thielen fan in this game. Conklin's not a bad secondary option, but you got Dan Arnold and Freiermuth as other cheap options as well. You could look at, but I like the Thielen end zone call. Jefferson might be the better tournament play per se, but I go with Thielen and save some cash. On the flip side, love Keenan Allen this week, but I also like going back to Austin Eckler. He was super chalky last week and let everybody down. So this could be a great spot to jump back on the Eckler train. But the biggest thing is you can throw all over Minnesota, so Keenan Allen could be in for a big one. Mike Williams could be, but he's been playing so bad. I'll just stick with Keenan Allen as well. Tennessee is hosting the New Orleans Saints in this one. Tennessee -3 over under 45. What do you got in this one?
Not a lot here. I don't like the way Ryan Tannehill's been playing. Saints defense is good, but are they going to be on the field too long? I think is the question here. Alvin Kamara is banged up, so I'm definitely not playing him at 82 and 88, but I will play Mark Ingram at 45 and 55. I think he's a good play. I think Jeremy McNichols looked way better than Adrian Peterson. So if you're going to play a running back here, 55-64 for McNichols. A.J. Brown at 78 and 76. Jeff Swaim's got in the end zone 2 weeks in a row. 25 and 45 is a decent play. Tennessee defense maybe at 2,600. I don't like this game.
I like a little Tannehill to Antonio or AJ Brown. I think that's just a great way to go there. If you want to throw Swaim in there, you can, but keep it totally simple. AJ Brown is getting a ton of targets right now. You can do it against this New Orleans defense. Put him with Tannehill. Have some fun. I like that one a lot. If you want to bring it back with the Mark Ingram, I think that's a great option because he's going to get a lot of touches in this game. They're going to want to slow this game down, but he can also be using the passing game. So I got a little 3-man stack like that. Nothing crazy. Gets the job done. All right. Philadelphia at Denver in this one. Denver -2.5 over under 45, coming off a big win in Big D.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to like here on the Denver side. I don't like pretty much anything on the Philly side. Maybe Devontae Smith at 59 and 62. I think that's a decent price for him. If you want to roll Goddard at 47 and 59, I'm okay with it, but I'd rather go with the cheaper tight end. So for me, it's, Teddy at 55 and 72, I think is a good price. Either side of Gordon or Williams, I'm okay with at running back. I just don't want Jordan Howard because are they going to go back to Boston Scott? Gainwell keeps getting these red zone touches instead. It's not fun, so I don't want to mess with it. Cortland and Judy, you read off that great stat about Cortland with Judy, and I called it correlation and not causation. I'm going to stick to my guns there. Give me Cortland Sutton in this game to torch Philly at 56 and 66. And look, if he doesn't, I'll be done. Okay. I won't mention him anymore. Tim Patrick cropped up on the injury report a little bit earlier today on Wednesday, late Wednesday. So I think that, he might be out of this game. So that's going to leave you with mainly Cortland and Judy. Albert O picked up an injury. Noah Fant actually just was activated today off the COVID list, so he's going to be behind the 8 ball. So I think it's going to be a lot of Sutton and Judy. And that's what I like in this game. I don't like anything else specifically on the Philly side.
Yeah, watch the injury report for sure, because if Tim Patrick plays, I love the discount you get for Tim Patrick when everyone goes to Judy and Sutton. Patrick's still getting those red zone looks and everything, so I have no problem going his route. And Noah Fant's interesting to me, so keep an eye on the injury info there. He got activated, see how he gets back going after the COVID, and see how that takes place. But a little Teddy B, Javonte Williams, get a receiver in there. I could see that being quite attractive. I don't mind Jordan Howard in cash. I would not play him in tournaments. I think his ceiling's very, very low, but I think he's going to be good for at least 10, 15 carries. And at his price tag, you get a pretty good look there. Other than that, Goddard's my favorite play because he just gets all the targets. 4,700 on DK, 59 on FanDuel. I think that's a great look. Otherwise, I'll pass. Seattle at Green Bay. Game of the week. Green Bay minus 3.5. Over under 49. Bogman. How much Aaron Rodgers is too much Aaron Rodgers?
I mean, I love Aaron Rodgers this week. I love Russell Wilson this week. They got to start testing Russell Wilson's blood because they said 35 days out, this is usually a 2 to 3 month recovery time for this type of a finger injury, and 35 days out, and he's going to be back on the field, which is just unbelievable to me and should be for everybody else. So I love Russell Wilson in this game.
Can he teach Tua how to heal?
No one can teach Tua how to. You're talking about Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson from Glass. So
Byron Davis of the NFL.
They're opposite guys here. So I don't think you can. I think that the problems with Aaron Jones have been overblown, but I would rather play AJ Dillon because of the price here, 48 and 53. I'm not messing with Chris Carson in his first game back, which makes me not mess with any of the run game for Seattle. If you wanted to play Devontae Adams, I think he's always in play. I don't like any other pass catchers in Green Bay. And then look, I'm in on DK Metcalf back with Russell Wilson, 68 and 8,000. I think is decent. I think if you want to play Lockett at 65 and 71, I'd rather play the crazy high upside and go with DK. But Tyler Lockett tends to have those boomer bust games, and this could be one of them. But there's a decent amount to like here.
Yes, there definitely is a decent amount to like here. Like you said, A-Raj with Devontae is phenomenal. That's the go-to cream of the crop play here. But watch the injury news because right now they look to be all healthy. So you got Lazard, you got Cobb, you got MVS, all very affordable. So kind of keep an eye on how that one's playing out. You can maybe sneak one in there for a tournament play really, really cheap and have some fun. So I don't mind that at all. Make sure you check out the LineStar app. It'll keep you posted on all that good stuff as well. And then on the Seattle side, I'm with you. DK Metcalf's the guy I want. You can look at Lockett to be contrarian, but Metcalf's got that take the ceiling off type game. So I like that as well. And then if you're going for a full stack, which I'm not, Mercedes Lewis is super cheap, and Raj loves him in the red zone. So that'd be my only say, but I'd rather, there's other guys we've talked about I'd much rather have for sure. All right. Final game of this 11-game slate. We got Tampa Bay off a bye week, Washington off a bye week. Tampa Bay minus 10 on the road, over under 51.5.
Tom Brady is the one guy that makes me think twice about going with Carson Wentz this week because I think he could have 5 touchdowns against Washington, right? He could go absolutely nuts. I got him as the top scorer at quarterback this week. So 76 and 83, I'm good to pay it. On the Washington side, I'm okay if you wanted to go with Heineke at 54 and 69 because they're going to be losing. They should be playing comeback. Terry McLaurin also has to be in there at 76 and 71. Somehow he's more expensive on DK than he is FanDuel, which is weird. Usually we haven't seen too much of that weird price discrepancy between these two. It's usually just everyone's a little bit more on FanDuel. That's one of the few that we see this week. Fournette at 61.74, always in play for me. I don't want anything to do with Gibson. McKissick, I think, is just a little overpriced at 52 and 54. I love Mike Evans this week at 69 and 74. A little expensive, but Godwin might be down. AB is probably down. Gronk his status is up in the air. So I like Mike Evans. Gio Bernard could be in there too. I'm just not a big Gio guy, but Cameron Brate at 27.45 is a decent one as well. Logan Thomas is back, but I don't think I'm paying for him. I think I'm going to go with the cheaper option at tight end, but Brate is definitely in play.
Yeah, Brady's a phenomenal play. That's pretty simple. Like you said, if anybody's going to destroy a slate, it's going to be Tom Brady. I love Leonard Fournette, 61 and 74, especially with no AB and likely no Godwin. That really utilizes him in the passing game, I think, even more. So I think that's a really good look there. And then Mike Evans is a great play, going to be very popular. But you can bring it back with a couple of options. Like watch the reports coming out of who's kind of starting or warming up or whatever. Tyler Johnson in the 2 games since AB's been out, he's got 8 targets. And then Jalen Darden has 4 targets. So both basically free. So keep an eye on who's coming out of there. And I like the Cameron Brate call. He's a red zone monster, especially with AB out of there. So a couple ways to go is super cheap with Tampa Bay. If you need to go there, you can always go T-Mac if you want. Otherwise, just stack up Tampa Bay and don't worry about Washington. That'd be my 2 cents, to be honest. That's 11 games, Bogman, in the book, which means people should check us out on YouTube, the LineStar YouTube channel, and give us a rate and review on iTunes. And most importantly, you follow LineStar on Twitter at LineStar App and at LineStar NFL, because besides all the great content they tweet out to keep you up to date on the next and best, greatest stuff out there, they tweet out the touchdown calls of the week from Bogman, myself, and Ryan Humphreys. If you retweet that tweet, 3 lucky retweeters will get paired with each one of us. If our guy finds the end zone, you'll win some free swag. So, Bogman, Week 10 NFL, who is your touchdown call of the week?
I haven't got in the last 2 weeks, so I'm going to go cupcake. Give me Najee Harris against the Detroit Lions.
That is a cupcake, and I respect it. So
I like cupcakes.
I'm not going to comment any farther on that. So that's totally fair on your part. What I'm going to do is, if you want to go cupcake, I'm going to go cupcake too, and give me James Conner. Give me James Conner finding the end zone in that game. I think it's going to be a fun one for Arizona. They're going to rely on him a lot, and he's just a touchdown machine right now. So give me James Conner. You got Najee Harris. So in reality, 2 of Bogman's favorite football players are on the touchdown calls of the week. We'll see what Ryan Humphreys has here and hopefully give you guys a bunch of free swag on this Week 10 action. But make sure you guys check out Bogman on Twitter at Bogman Sports. I'm Matt BD. Good luck this week. We'll be back with you guys on Tuesday with your Week 10 recap, Week 11 look ahead. But for now, this is the Pre-Snap Podcast. Catch you all later.
Good luck. See ya.
Thanks for listening to Pre-Snap Podcast, presented by LineStar app. Please like, comment, subscribe, and rate for good karma in your fantasy football games.